So here we are getting ready for our second tour. We're at Unaka High School, still in Carter County, Tennessee. So here we are in Unaka High School, outside the administrative offices. So if you would, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Betsy Oliver. I'm principal of Unaka High School.
Ms. Oliver, I have just a couple of questions for you. If you would, please provide an overall snapshot of the high school, its population.
We are a 9th through 12th grade school. We have approximately 355 students. This year we are doing 3 ways of learning. We have in-school learning, which is Monday through Thursday. The students are in school. We also have a second choice that's called remote learning, and that is where the students are zoomed in with our teachers and they do their learning from home. And our third option this year is online learning, straight online through the Carter County school system. That's what we're working through this year at Unaka High School.
So you have both on-ground and online students. How do you ensure the safety and security of those students on ground? Their safety on the campus, both inside and outside the building.
Okay, we are required by the state of Tennessee to do required drills each month. We have a fire drill 2 times the first 2 weeks of school, and we also have to have one of those a month. We're required to have lockdown drills. We're required to have, I think we have the shakedown drill in October, the middle of October, which is an earthquake drill. And we also have to keep our campus locked at all times. Now, we also have COVID this year, so we have COVID measures that we have specific cleaning that we do. Of course, we're wearing our mask. We have masks for our students at any time if they need one. We have deep cleaning days on Fridays. We have a nurse, so that if a student is showing any symptoms of COVID, we have a nurse that comes, identifies, and we have a room that they go to so that they're not exposed to anyone. And we're trying to limit the number of outsiders in our building this year, so we have purchased a drop box. We have multiple things that we're doing online, usually we have a Title I meeting. It's all online. So many of our services that we're offering this year, we're doing those online so that we can help the safety of our campus.
And so I noticed as I came in, I had to push a button.
You did?
In order to be admitted.
Yes, ma'am.
I had to provide photo ID in order to state my business in order to be here on the campus.
We use a system called the Raptor system, and that is connected with our sheriff's department. And anyone that comes in the building, we run their driver's license for the first time, unless they're identified as a school personnel, and they have to go through the Raptor system, and it flags anyone that would have a warrant or if we have child custody cases, that would also be on there.
And do you have a resource officer?
We do, Mr. Paul Morrell. He is here on campus from 7:30 till the end of the day.
Okay. Let's switch gears and go from safety and security to technology. Tell us about the technology available for students' use.
For this year?
Yes.
Well, we have changed. Of course, with COVID had us do different decisions for technology this year. All of our students that needed one have been provided computers. We did several surveys at the beginning of the year, and if a family needed, and especially if the family had more than one sibling, of course, we can't expect them to use the same computer for online learning. So all of our students that needed one this year that did not have one at home have computers. Now, in order to do that, one of our testing labs had to be taken away, but that's going to hopefully be refurbished in time. But we do have a library that still has computers in it. We have our distance learning room that has computers in it. We have our CTE room that is a computer lab. And also we have some mobile devices because some of our students have to come to our office each morning because they have a desktop. So when they come to school, of course, they can't bring their desktop to school. So we have computers because many of our classes, they're doing the Canvas online. So they have to have a computer while they're at school, and then they use their desktop when they go home. Right now, we have 1 grade bandwidth right now, but we're getting ready to be improved in the next, I think it's 4 to 6 weeks, so we'll have 8 bandwidth. So that'll help our technology a little bit better, our internet service.
So Unaka's students who are enrolled as dual enrollment students with Northeast State have access to all the technology that you just described.
Yes.
Tell me your process for ensuring that the technology is current and up to date.
Okay. We have our technology department. He was actually just here today. He checks in about every week, and we check, of course, the distance learning lab, because that's where our dual enrollment classes are. Mr. Andy O'Neill, he's in charge of that, but he works under the supervision of Gary Bailey. And Mr. Bailey comes in and he does checks with our computers, with our technology, to make sure that all of our teachers have what they need so that we can provide the services that we need, especially this year during the COVID.
My next question was, who handles IT issues? And I believe you just covered that.
Now, one thing I do though is each teacher has, if they have any technological problems in their classrooms, they send it to me and Mr. Wright, the assistant principal, and we complete a work order, and that's done online, and that goes immediately to our IT department, who comes to their school probably within the day or the next day and fixes the problems. We also, for our Canvas, things have changed this year. We have our Canvas. We have a person, Miss Lovelace. She does business communications and CTE, and she is responsible for, let's say, if a student forgets their password, or if a student messes their Canvas, the learning platform up, she's responsible. She's the person we go to, and they get that password reset immediately so that learning continues.
And so you mentioned what an instructor would do. So, of course, Northeast State's class this semester is online, but anytime Northeast State has an instructor on site, would they follow that same process if there were an IT issue in the classroom?
They would identify that with me or Mr. Wright, and we would call Mr. O'Neill, because he is designated as for the distance learning room for that purpose. So it would be, the distance learning is taken care of immediately.
So one more technology-related question. I'm a student. The laptop that I took home, I have a problem. What do I do?
You either email me, you can go to our school webpage under faculty schedules, and all of our teachers are identified with their email. They would email that teacher that there's a problem. They would bring the computer to the school the next day, and we would try to get a replacement or a technology order as soon as possible. But we would work on that immediately. I'll be honest, with 200 kids in computers, we have about, I think we have 6 here right now. We have more on order to trade out for those students that need those desktops. But what we do is during the school, we let those students have the ones that we have to borrow. They bring them back the next day. So at the end of the day.
Okay, great. I believe that concludes my questions. I'd like to take a look at the administrative offices.
That would be fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Betsy Oliver again, and we're in our administrative offices. This is our counselor's office if you want to come this way. Our counselor is Miss McGinnis, and she is absent today, but we're here with our graduation coach.
Hi, my name is Marcia Greenwell, and I'm the graduation coach here at the high school.
So I understand our counselor, Unaka's high school's counselor, isn't able to be with us this morning, so I have several questions that I'll direct to the two of you. So if you wouldn't mind to reintroduce yourselves.
I'm Shelby McKenzie. I'm the director of the University Parallel Dual Enrollment Program.
And I'm Kathy Coleman, the Dean of Academic Advising and Director of Retention Services.
So here we go. Tell me. So let's begin by talking about the processes you followed, Shelby, in working with Unaka High School's counseling staff to determine the classes to be offered.
Sure. We have planning meetings at the beginning of each calendar year to discuss the classes that we'd like to offer for the following academic year. And at those meetings, we also discuss when we'll have parent nights, student interest meetings, orientation sessions, and placement testing.
And the classes that you're selecting are a part of what educational programs that Northeast State offers?
They're part of the General Education Academic Certificate Program.
And currently, what classes occurring here with Unaka?
This semester, we're not teaching classes on campus, we're offering those online. And we have students enrolled in online Composition 1 and online Composition 2.
And is that taught by an adjunct or a full-time faculty member?
It's taught by an adjunct faculty member.
Okay. Do we have any faculty or staff domiciled at the high school?
We do not.
Let's talk facilities, Shelby. Tell me about the physical facilities here used by Northeast State dual enrollment students.
Sure. When we teach at Unaka High School on ground, we're provided a classroom space, which typically has computers available. Students are also able to use the library here on campus as needed, and they also have access to their school counselor.
What about any student support services that are provided? Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. So the students who take dual enrollment classes here at Unaka have access to the same types of student services and supports that our students at any Northeast State location would have. Every year we have a guidance counselors workshop, and those counselors meet with representatives of all of our student services departments so that they can learn more about the services available to the students as well as how to access those services.
Okay. Tell me about what types of communication channels are employed in Northeast State's working with dual enrollment students to ensure they're aware of the services available.
Sure. We have student interest meetings at the beginning of our planning time for potential students. We also have orientation sessions that we have here on campus. We do placement testing here on campus. We also send a welcome letter at the beginning of the school year to welcome students to the program. And then if we need to reach students during the semester, we typically do that through the counseling office.
And so who is the primary contact between Northeast State and Unaka High School personnel and students?
I'm the primary contact for those students and for Unaka High School staff.
Now, in relation to communication and contacts, how are students made aware of things like academic calendars, refund policies, other types of policies that apply to students?
Sure. We actually have a dual enrollment student handbook, and that's on our website, available 24/7, and it's also sent to our dual enrollment faculty members so that they can post it in D2L.
Kathy, if I'm a student who has been dissatisfied with a service that I receive, how would I know about any complaint process?
Okay, so if a student had a concern or a complaint, that student could contact their guidance counselor here at Unaka or the teacher that is teaching the dual enrollment class, or Shelby as the contact for Unaka between the college and the high school. And our student complaint process is actually outlined in our college student handbook for our students, as well as on our main website. We have a tab for students, and the student complaint process, as well as the form to utilize for that written complaint, is on that link.
So policies and procedures are outlined, available 24/7, available via the handbook, available via the catalog, policies and procedures. How would the students get access to the handbook you referenced?
It's on our website, on the dual enrollment website, and then it's also sent to our dual enrollment faculty members so that they can post it in their D2L course pages.
So it's resident in the course.
Yes.
Does the college have a memorandum of understanding with the school system?
We do. We have memorandums of understanding with all of the school systems that we partner with. And in that memorandum of understanding, we say explicitly that these classes follow the same policies and procedures as all other classes that we teach at Northeast State.
All All right, let's see if either of you can speak to learning outcomes. I know because this is an online class, there's no faculty member here today. So in relation to learning outcomes, do the learning outcomes for the dual enrollment classes offered here differ in any way from the course offered on the main campus or any other teaching site?
No, they do not. They follow the same policies and procedures. They have the same syllabus, the same course materials, the same grading policies.
Do students have the opportunity to evaluate the faculty members?
They do. They're encouraged to participate in the IDEA evaluation, which occurs at the end of each semester.
Is the faculty evaluation process for dual enrollment any different from the faculty evaluation process across the college and all other instructional sites?
No, it's not. It's the very same.
So students get an opportunity to evaluate faculty. What about any other of the college's services? Do dual enrollment students have the opportunity to evaluate the services they're receiving?
They do. Dual enrollment students are encouraged to participate in the enrolled student satisfaction survey.
And so in relation to the services provided, Kathy, I'm sure that probably a lot of those questions relate to student support services. If there's an instance where the result is less than what's expected, what's a follow-up action? What would you do next?
What we would do is we would look at the area of concern and then work with the student services office that relates to come up with a corrective action, work with the school to make plans to correct that in the upcoming semester.
Okay. Shelby, you mentioned that you are the primary contact. Tell us about any other dual enrollment personnel that supports the college's dual enrollment programming.
Sure. I'm the director of the University Parallel Dual Enrollment Program, and then we also have a coordinator for that program. In addition to those two full-time positions, we have two temporary part-time positions that serve as dual enrollment substitutes should our faculty members ever need to be absent. And then there's an additional dual enrollment office as well, the Career and Technical Education Dual Enrollment Program. And for that office, there is a director, a dual enrollment coordinator, and also a dual credit / LEAP grant coordinator, and both of those coordinator positions are grant funded.
All right, so we've talked a little bit about the different roles and responsibilities, how we coordinate or how you coordinate with the personnel on site in relation to ensuring the quality of dual enrollment instruction. Any other information specific to assessments or evaluation processes used?
No, I don't think so.
In relation to faculty who are assigned to teach, who makes those assignments?
The academic deans make those assignments.
Let's talk recruitment for just a minute. How do you recruit students into the dual enrollment program? You've mentioned that briefly. Are there any other comments related to recruitment? Any new strategies you've had to employ as a result of COVID?
Sure. We always have student interest meetings in preparation for the upcoming academic year, and we also work closely with the counseling office, who helps to identify students who would be good candidates for the program. This year, in order to try to reach more students for the spring semester, we have sent out a marketing survey to high school students to gauge their interest in various classes. We hope that will allow us to recruit students for the spring semester, and it will also help us plan for future academic years.
Okay. Let's revisit physical facilities for just a second. Have you found that the physical facilities and resources available here are adequate?
Yes.
Have you determined faculty's satisfaction with the resources they have available?
Yes. Our faculty members are encouraged to participate in the faculty satisfaction survey, and there are questions for each of the high school sites on that survey.
All right, I believe that concludes my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's our next stop?
The library.
The library. So we're now in Unaka High School's library, here to meet and speak with the librarian. If you would, introduce yourself.
My name is Bonnie Buckles, and this is my 13th year of teaching, but my first year here at Unaka High School.
Okay, if you don't mind, give us an overview of the library's holdings.
Right now we have about 4,239 titles in circulation, and that includes nonfiction and fiction stories as well as DVDs, and I do have additional class sets that are not available for circulation but are available for teacher use.
And so do those holdings include the types of materials that would be needed to support general education courses such as English composition?
Definitely. My nonfiction has grown tremendously this year. I actually spent the largest part of my board allocated money on nonfiction and trying to expand a lot of the actual fact books that I can use in the classrooms and help with student curriculum.
So of course the dual enrollment students have two libraries available to them. They have the Unaka Library here on site, as well as the Northeast State Library. The dual enrollment students, in your experience, do they look for any particular types of resources or support when they come to see you?
Basically a lot of technology support as well. I do have my library media science degree. I also have an endorsement in instructional media technology, so most of the things right now are so technology based, and with virtual learning and other things going on, there's a lot of technology problems, so I'm glad to help in those areas as well.
Tell me a little bit about the dual enrollment students' access to the library, when it's available to them.
It's available to them at any time. I do have a lot of links on our website as well as links to any information in the public libraries as well, so they're able to reach out to those. My email is posted, my office hours are posted as well, and they know they can contact me before school, after school, and any time that they need to make an appointment.
So they have resources available on ground, they have resources available online, and
Yes.
a variety of methods to communicate with you.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's ask Northeast State's Dean of the Library to join us. If you would, tell us how you coordinate with Unaka Library staff to ensure the college is meeting the needs of the students.
Sure. Well, there's two ways. We have a website dedicated specifically for dual enrolled students and high school library staff, and it just gives kind of an overview and describes the access and the resources that dual enrolled students would have access to from our library.
And how do you communicate the availability of that resource page to the high school librarians?
We usually do that with email, but we also work closely with them if materials need to be delivered here. So for instance, any student, regardless of site, can request materials be delivered to any one of our sites. So through our library catalog, they can actually request materials be delivered to this high school. And in that case, we would call the librarian and we would arrange a delivery method and return method for that.
So in addition to making the physical resources available and to delivering them here for the students, what other methods are available to students to access Northeast State Library services?
Sure. We have a tremendous amount of resources that are available from our website, online resources. So for example, we have over 400,000 ebooks. And we have over 100 research databases that are online. And those are the primary methods of how students conduct research for their projects and various assignments.
So from the perspective of the faculty member or the student who might need to learn about the library resources available to them, or might need to learn how to best research or which databases to visit, how do you accommodate that?
The easiest way to accommodate that is have them go to the library website and contact us. And we have multiple ways of contacting us. The most popular is we have an online chat system from the library website. And students or faculty actually contact us through that. We also, they can call us, they can email us, they can text message us, they can set up individual appointments. And we will come to whatever site there is and we will help them in person or we can help them remotely.
Okay, so if a Unaka dual enrollment student wanted specifically to speak with a Northeast State librarian, how would that work?
They would contact us. Usually that happens via the online chat system, and then we can actually come here and help them face to face, or we can actually help them remotely via online video or email. We help them multiple ways.
Okay. I believe that's all I have for you both. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Shelby McKenzie, Director of the University Parallel Dual Enrollment Program, and I wanted to show you a typical classroom that we've used in the past at Unaka High School. You can follow me.
Is this the first semester that Unaka dual enrollment classes have been fully online?
Yes, it is.
Are there any other facilities here in the high school that are used by Northeast State classes that we've not yet visited?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you.